Caritas Australia has a long history in Timor-Leste. In the rampage that followed Timor-Leste's vote in favour of independence in 1999, an estimated 1,500 people lost their lives, and the violence displaced hundreds of thousands of people. The militias destroyed the majority of infrastructure, houses and schools.
For our partners, it was a very frightening experience, a very threatening experience for them, because they were witnessing the build-up of militias being supported by the Indonesian military, and their lives were at risk because of the work they were doing.
In 1999, where the conflicts started, and I was witness how hard, killing peoples, burning the houses, and losing, foods and incomes.
In the 24 years, East Timor experienced a lot of suffering. The war, of course, touched every single family. The massacre was the infamous massacre, is the Santa Cruz massacre that happened on the 12th of November 1991, where young people were gunned down while praying for a friend that had died previously.
In the 2 years following independence, Caritas established a permanent presence in Timor-Leste, distributing urgent food, water and supplies in the refugee camps, and providing shelter for hundreds of families whose homes had been reduced to ashes.
If you look at in the last 50 years of Caritas Australia, it's always been about working with community. It's always been about accompanying and sharing. So now, in Caritas Australia, we can say Timor-Leste history is also part of our 50, and that's very important.
Walking with the East Timorese and working closely with the church in Timor-Leste has spawned a close-knit relationship that continues to this day.
It's very important to work with the church because the church has a big influence.
We went from an agency who sometimes chipped in to respond to emergencies with other Caritas members to all of a sudden being a lead agency where Caritas Internationalis said, you're the leader in Caritas Australia, and we had to overnight grow.
Augustine, like many thousands across the country, lost everything and fled to the mountains.
In the early days, we distributed food to the camps and the communities who needed it most. As that changed, we started delivering shelter kits because a lot of the homes were burnt down.
East Timor used to be a Portuguese colony, and Akusi is where the Portuguese first landed. That's why it's part of Timor-Leste today. But it's cut off from the rest of the country, so is only accessible by air and sea. Akusi is considered one of the most poor and disadvantaged districts of Timor-Leste. But high in the mountains, Caritas programs work in partnership with local communities. The programs provide education to 31 villages, including more than 1,000 families, educating them in the use of sloping agriculture, farming terraces, the protection of springs, and agroforestry techniques. Here, high in the mountains, these programs conserve and protect the environment, using simple things like providing villagers with tree seedlings and methods to increase soil fertility, reduce erosion, and increase food production. One of the results of Caritas support has been the reduction of the hungry season by at least half.
Caritas contributeves para o desenvolvimento e a Akusi. Amne obrigado a Caritas devemos durante ne acompanha, cria serviço, cria mitra serviço e a suco nebe abelian suku mus e suku serre agora mus halodi.
Hai tele Caritas na noina kai hau an amasimitem na loom sa amparkate taim te imit nube o kam sene hailele eka haim sen laku sen lole amnahtini pauhain non tain.
It's been 10 years and the faces now is different with the faces in the early stage of Caritas Australia program. People are now smiling.
Today's Timor-Leste appears a different place to what it was during all those years of conflict. Whole communities have been empowered and the future looks promising. Improving economy has seen improvements in livelihoods. Caritas Australia continues to support programs with dozens of local grassroots community organisations across the country, including peacebuilding and reconciliation in Dili.
I was always struck by and came back to the extraordinary resilience of that people. They have put up with so much for so long. They keep surviving, and in fact they don't just survive, they make life rich for themselves.
And so there's a very strong sense of loyalty to Caritas Australia, and they know that we've walked with them since their time of need in 1999 until now. The needs have changed, but the relevance and the importance of us working with communities has not.